One of our students even received offers from all top institutions, securing a grand slam with offers. Hello everyone, I'm Rex. I graduated from NYU Steinhardt with a master's in screen scoring in 2018. After returning to China, I've successfully mentored a lot of students into prestigious institutions worldwide, including Royal College of Music, USC, NYU, Eastman School of Music, Indiana University Jacobs School of Music, New England Conservatory, Columbia College Chicago, Peabody Institute, as well as Berklee College of Music, both in Boston and Valencia campus, and universities like Edinburgh, Bristol, Leeds, and many others in the fields of composition, film scoring, and music production. For instance, this year, every one of our students received offers from their dream schools. Even the highly competitive USC, which offers a few admissions, granted 3 offers to our students. 2 for undergraduate composition with scholarships, and 1 for master's in film scoring. One of our students even received offers from all top institutions, including RCM, USC, Columbia College Chicago, Eastman, SFCM, and more, securing a grand slam with offers. This shows our rich experience and successful results in portfolio coaching. Moreover, each of our excellent application results represents not just the outcome itself, but the exceptional future stars who are entering the music industry with their masterpieces. So today, I'd like to use the works of Chen, who received the Grand Slam of offers, as an example to discuss how to apply for international film scoring, composition, and music production programs. In the past, I've released some video guides about applying for programs, mainly focusing on film scoring. Some aspects apply to both music production and composition programs, and you can just check them out. Now let's dive into the entire process of preparing portfolios for application to all these schools. The first step is to determine your style and positioning. For film scoring, we need to select the right clip for ourselves. For music production, you need to define your musical style. Whether in film scoring or music production, school generally expects students to showcase both the diversity of their styles and their own distinct personality with technically strong skills. This is the golden rule, as always. Taking Chen's selection as an example, his passion is classical music. So for one of his pieces, we chose the 1996 version of Gen I. The 19th century setting provided a vast space for him to express his love for classical music. In this clip, you can hear the blending of late Romanticism and 20th century music styles. However, in today's music industry, knowing only 1 or 2 styles make it difficult to stand out. So I encourage Chen to challenge himself and try out very different musical styles. Thus, for another piece, we chose Batman: The Dark Knight. In this piece, you can hear a blend of orchestral instruments with electronic sounds and cinematic percussion. Generally speaking, students who excel in orchestral composition often struggle with integrating modern techniques like sound design. The creative mindset and music language for each are quite different, and even among top music producers, few are skilled in both. Therefore, Chen's portfolio not only showcased these starkly contrasting styles, but he executed both at an extremely high level. I believe this is the core reason why he impressed the professors at every school he applied to. In addition, our other two pieces were from Megamind and Tom and Jerry's selection. As one of the most technically demanding forms of film scoring and animation scores, these two pieces significantly raised the overall quality of the portfolio. Additionally, in Tom and Jerry, Chen uniquely mixed classical and jazz styles. The second step is proper planning. This includes 1. Finding reference music, 2. Designing your composition plan, 3. Engaging in fragmented creation. Some students might think that using reference music could lead to unintentional copying. The likelihood of accidental plagiarism depends on your creative ability, whether you maintain a solid creative process, and not necessarily whether or not you use reference music. For many students, composing music can feel like fortune-telling. You never know if your piece will turn out well. While composition does rely on feeling and instinct, we can still clarify our creative process through comprehensive preparation. By controlling the variables, it actually becomes very hard to accidentally plagiarize. Even if you drew inspiration from reference work, and you will still create highly original work. You can check out my 2 video courses, Melody Writing Tutorial and Refined Tonal Harmony, for detailed explanations of the analyzing, planning, composing process. Fragmented writing mainly encourages students to create freely without worrying about the overall structure, gathering inspiration piece by piece. You complete one part before moving on to the next, and once these pieces are ready, you will integrate them into the full structure. The third step is creating melody and harmony drafts in your DAW or notation software. This is divided into 3 parts. The first part is the main melody, which represents the core role of the piece. The second part is harmony, ideally approaching a 4-part harmony structure but not strictly following rules. Rather, focusing on register arrangement, contrast between voices, and the change in the amount of voices. The third part includes any ideas. Just anything you want to try, such as special textures or orchestrations. Typically, I suggest keeping this part minimal. In our lessons, if you have orchestration ideas for a particular phrase, you might only need 1 or 2 measures to represent it, as these special orchestration ideas will often be reused or developed later. Let's take a look at Chen's draft here. The reason for creating drafts is to better understand the overall structure of the piece, which is one of the most difficult aspects of music composition. Unlike visual art, we can never directly experience the whole piece. We can only assemble it based on our memories of the details. Only after creating the draft can we ensure that the music's various sections interact in different dimensions but still maintain a deep connection. The fourth step is piano reduction. This typically refers to a score arrangement for two pianos, where we define the texture and structure, clarifying the voice leading details that will later be fully orchestrated. Of course, this depends on the student's pace and situation. For example, if you plan to use guitar as the main instrument for a pop music arrangement, this step might involve creating a guitar demo to accompany the vocals. Here you can see the texture reduction. You will notice that brilliant harmonic arrangement and layering of voices can be clearly achieved in such a simple format without rushing to complete the full orchestration. The fifth and sixth steps are completing the orchestration and producing the final mockup. Some students might be surprised to learn that we need to finish the score first, then make the audio. Of course, if you are a seasoned music producer or composer, you can follow your usual process. But in portfolio preparation, one crucial thing many students overlook is that actual notation is extremely important. That's why I recommend finishing the score first, then doing the audio. In commercial music production, every additional minute of you spend in the recording studio increases our budget exponentially. So schools pay great attention to whether students have good notation habits and accurately notate necessary information in the score. Often, when we finish the audio first and then create the score, we waste a lot of time cleaning up the score. So it's better to write the score first. Of course, if you are more comfortable with composing directly in DAW, that's okay. You can write things in the DAW first, then transfer them to notation software. This approach is still more convenient than finishing the audio first, then exporting MIDI for the score. Here, you can see Chen's standard notation. Of course, simply following this process doesn't guarantee an ideal offer. In our teaching process, I don't just focus on making students produce decent music. I aim for their pieces to match the standards of top-tier works from both China and abroad, teaching them the skills to thrive in their professional career. I hope to help them complete industry-leading work and raise the overall level of this field. The film, game scoring, and pop music industries in China have made significant progress over the past decade, and I'm excited to contribute to its further growth. For that, I need your involvement. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any further questions about portfolio applications, don't hesitate to leave a comment or just DM me. Bye bye.